yeah, it's very hard. Like, just people make mistakes. It doesn't mean that they should like not get backlash for it, but people make mistakes.
Yeah. Right.
Don't like ruin. Like, I see too many times somebody make a mistake. Well, not too many times, but it happens. They lose all their friends, they lose the one thing they love, and people like for like one mistake they do, they could get pushed almost to the end. It could drive some people suicidal. So just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Try to be compassionate in the community. I'll definitely tell someone when they've, you know, done something wrong or done something that wasn't very cool. But, you know, if you're going to do something like that, say it to their face. Don't be an internet bully. Like, just I don't know, say what you got to say and leave it.
Yeah.
People can get really bullied sometimes, and I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so it was the comments made by the cosplay head of Colossal Con, but then they also there was a panel rejection for a cosplaying while black panel that got rejected, and I think the reason was pretty bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about that.
I think that would have been such a good panel. That was a big mistake on their part.
Yeah. How do you think that conventions should handle like controversies if they find themselves like ensnared in one?
See, that's hard. It's really hard. I mean, all you can do is make a very sincere apology. Like, you have to mean it. If you don't mean it, it's not going to come over sincere. So hopefully whoever is in charge realizes that what they did was actually wrong and can make it a sincere apology and try to right their wrongs. It's, I don't know, it's just like the individual people in the community. If they make an oopsie, like, you gotta handle it the best way you can. Definitely not feeding into the internet. Like, don't respond to any comments. Take down a post if a post is bad. Like, just get your thoughts together and, publicly apologize and fix your mistake if you can. Because going back to what I said about, witch hunting a cosplayer, especially, like, there's people that won't even know who you are but heard about what you did, will start blowing up your comments and blowing up this and that. Like, you can't feed into the internet.
Yeah, you really can't.
Clearly, that's what happened with Colossal Con. So, he said some off-color stuff in comment sections.
Yeah.
So that was a really, really big mistake on his part or her part. I don't know who it was, but there's so many people online, so many trolls that know how to just get to your core.
You
can't let them. It's so hard.
Easier said than done.
Yeah,
a lot of you girls have to try to develop a lot of thick skin to not let like comments and trolls get to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sucks because we're all human, and although I'm not where I was, like, I'm in a much better position now. Psychologically, like, my self-esteem is a lot better than it was, but
that's good.
I still have my days. I still have my off days, and if somebody happens to say something on one of my off days, it gets to me. It gets to us,
Yeah.
Everybody's human. People make mistakes. There's no right or wrong way to handle them. I mean, yeah, there's a wrong way, but people, like, there's no like right way. So you just got to handle situations like that the best of your ability and try to move forward and learn from situations and come out a better person.
Yeah. Yeah, like writing out, like getting together a sincere apology and doing it in a timely manner, because I don't know if that happened with Blizzard, where I think they took too long to issue a statement.
Yeah.
And that also didn't fly well with everyone that was affected by it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just stuff like that, and
I understand them, the initial thought to like do what they did because they don't want what the guy did raised controversy, right? But I mean, we still have our freedom of speech and stuff, and by doing what they did to try and like let the kid know, oh, we don't want controversial kind of stuff associated with our company. By doing what they did, they rose even bigger, like an even bigger controversy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. You gotta like people in charge of a big company like that really need to think before they act sometimes.
Yeah.
They have no idea how much like a small action can impact their company.
Right, exactly. Let's see here. Can you think of, I mean, I can't at the moment, but can you think of any other convention controversy that happened in recent memory that was a giant mess to deal with?
Not really. I don't think so.
Right.
I'm trying to think.
I mean, the only other one I can think of at the moment is, I think it was DashCon years ago, and their ball pit.
They had a ball pit?
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds fun.
The DashCon controversy, where there was like really nothing there at the con, I think, and all they had was a ball pit.
Oh, that's it.
Something to that effect, and it generated a lot of memes. This was years ago. Yeah. That was a wild ride.
Yeah.
Why don't we shift gears a bit towards a segment that I like to call franchise design / teacher technique. So for your case, again, you did Dark Valkyrie Mercy.
Mm-hmm.
What was your favorite part in the construction of the whole outfit, if you had to pick?
Like start to finish?
Sure.
Or just like construction?
I get maybe construction. Like, did you have fun making the wings or her staff or?
I'm trying to think. I liked this, like, as far as like a specific item goes, I think the staff was my favorite. The wings were super, super tedious because every feather I had to cut out of foam 8 times.
Oh God.
And then glue them all together. Like I need to work in a more ventilated area because the glue time on that, I was in my basement for quite a while.
Oh, okay.
But my favorite part of costume design is always like the final steps of gluing pieces together and painting, weathering. I love it's when the costume all comes together and you can start to visually see your work, because just penciling out patterns and cutting patterns is so tedious, and just pattern making in general.
Yep, you're right about that.
But and this was also my first time, one of my first times really planning for travel, which I should do with all my costumes realistically. But easier said than done. Like the wings and the staff, I had to make sure I could travel with them. So both of the wings just slide off.
Well, that's good.
They're on PVC like pipe, so they just slide off the pipe. And the two PVC pipes come, I forget what you call that. It's like a hose clamp.
Okay.
So the PVC pipes go into a hose clamp that hold them in place, and then you just unscrew the hose clamp, and then you can take the PVC pipe out, and it's basically just a block of wood.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So it all condenses down pretty small. The wings literally just fit inside a large suitcase. So I'm glad that they fit. It was close. And I should have made my staff in 3 pieces, honestly, but the staff ended up fitting in an old camera bag that I have. Or it's not camera. So like a big long black duffel. It would come with backdrops. I got this backdrop set up off of Amazon to do photos at my house and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit, it's like a long bag, and I basically just wrapped everything in foam and put it in that bag. It was pretty convenient. Because somebody recommended for my staff, they're like, oh, if you can't find something for it to fit in, try going and getting a snowboard bag. And I was like, oh, yeah, that would make sense. And when I started looking up snowboard bags, I was like, that looks a lot like my black bag that I have for all my backdrop stuff. So I ended up just using that.
That's good. Yeah, you always hear of horror stories or just panicky stories of cosplayers that they can't travel on airplanes and stuff with their stuff or their materials, so they have to risk it and have their things shipped to the hotel they're staying at, or
right.
If they can bring stuff through the airport, they gotta hope that the TSA agents don't
mess
around with it too much and accidentally break their props. So
right.
Yeah.
I had them put a fragile thing on the bag, and inside my checked bags, I had put my reference image that I had been using, and I wrote on the back, I was like, this is a costume for BlizzCon. I've worked really hard on it. Please be careful if you need to look through the bag. I just basically wrote a note letting them know what it is, what it's for, where I'm going. And on the other side of that note was a picture of the actual costume. So
yeah.
You can only hope that somebody is, if your bag gets searched, you can only hope that they're respectful, but it is risky.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely have heard of some cosplayers they'll add in little pages of notes and to quickly let them know this is what's in the bag. It's for a convention. It's made out of this, and this. Please be very careful.
Right. I think letting them know what it is, I think having my reference image in there helps too, so they can see visually what I was working on, what it is, where it's going, what it's made out of. If you give them all the what's, they aren't as nervous about it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because if it was going to be something sketchy, they probably wouldn't have that much information on all of it.
Yeah.
Um,
Right.
so I don't know. You could always try shipping. I haven't shipped anything personally yet, but I don't know. Different things work better for different people. I got through somehow. I got through security with my Ava Unit 1 mask
Okay, yeah.
because I took it on as a carry-on because the long horn in the front. I was really nervous about it breaking because it was printed in 3 pieces, and that was one of the 3 pieces. And I was nervous it was going to crack because it has a weak point.
Sure. Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to try and carry it on, and everybody's like, oh, TSA's not going to like that. And he was like, what is this? What's it for? And I told him, and I was like, it's made out of plastic. He's like, it's fine. He's like, it just has to go through, what's it called? I am blanking. Like the metal detector.
Oh, yeah.
And I left. I was like, okay. I was like, it's plastic. It'll be fine. So they didn't give me a hard time about that, but some people they might.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It definitely was something they don't usually see, I'm sure.
Yeah. Anything else you'd want to add for this little episode, or? Like anything else about BlizzCon that you liked, or I mean, I think we talked about how to handle convention controversies a good amount, I feel.
So something controversial, kind of, could be about my trip that I just took for Stanley SuperCon.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was one thing that put off this recording a little bit.
Yeah, so I was invited to guest at Stanley's SuperCon Riyadh, which is in Saudi Arabia. And initially I was excited. I was like curious. I had to do some research, and so I was looking online, because almost every single person that I told was like, be safe, be aware of your surroundings. Like everybody was very concerned for my safety. And so like when I started doing my research, I was looking up, like safest cities in the world, and there was like from one being the safest to like 200 something being least safe. And Riyadh ranked in at like 63.
Oh.
And these are all cities that were considered less safe than Riyadh. There was Atlanta, Chicago, Toronto. I don't know if that's right or not. Toronto? But there were like a bunch of cities that I had been to. And I was like, and on multiple occasions. I was like, okay, that immediately made me feel a lot better. And me and all the girls and my manager that were going, we had a big group chat discussing everything. Like there are a lot of culture things. You are not supposed to, as a woman, you shouldn't speak unless you're spoken to. There's the hijab that you should wear on your head, and the abaya is the the long dress robe that you would wear.
Right.
You're not supposed to hand anything or do anything with your left hand, because that's the hand that they wash with. So it's considered unclean. You're supposed to do stuff with your right hand. Like we did a lot of research just so that we could be respectful. And I think if you're going to any other country and you don't know, you may think you know about another country, but I think it's still good to always research where you're traveling to, and
Right.
just to make sure you're not disrespecting anyone. Like, because something that wouldn't even be considered disrespectful here could be considered disrespectful there.
Somewhere else. Yeah.
I found out that dabbing in Saudi Arabia is illegal.
Oh my gosh.
So, like, the prime example. So, everybody was very nervous, especially my mom and Matt. And I was like, I feel comfortable going. I really do. Like, I have done my research. I got a hijab and a abaya, and I did everything right. So we flew in, and on my last flight into Saudi, I put on my hijab. I didn't put on the abaya, the robe. As long as you don't have a lot of skin showing or anything, it's not really a problem. I mainly wanted to cover up my hair because it's bright blue. So
Yeah.
some of the women didn't even put on a hijab when they got off the plane. Another thing is you're supposed to be escorted by a male at all times. But after being there and talking to a lot of the locals, like a lot of this stuff that I had been reading about is dated. Like,
Oh, okay.
all the things that people are worried about, and like a lot of women in Saudi don't have to wear the hijabs on their head anymore. Like, and things are changing. Like, women in Saudi just got they're now allowed to drive. And they weren't.
Right, I heard about that. Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that are changing in Saudi Arabia, and there's like this stigma and stuff. Like, I think, I was really impressed. Everybody was very respectful when they were taking pictures with us, and even though they'd see us taking pictures with people, they'd come up and be like, "Can I take a picture with you?" Like, clearly we just took like 10 other photos before you. We're taking pictures with people, but they're still respectful enough to ask, and like,
yeah,
they're just very respectful, and the food was delicious. Everything was beautiful. Like, don't just going back to opinions, not falling into societal opinions just because something seems wrong, or because most people are opinionated one way. Don't let yourself fall into the societal norm. Like, have your own voice, have your own opinion, do your own research, because I would have missed out on an incredible opportunity to see another part of the world that I don't know if I'd ever go to Saudi Arabia. If I were to travel out of the country by choice, it'd probably be to Japan or New Zealand or Iceland. But because of what I do, I had this opportunity, and I'm really glad that I took it. So yeah, I mean, don't be afraid. Do your research, and if it says that it's not safe, maybe then be afraid. But Riyadh is it's not on the outskirts. The outskirts, I think, are where you should be worried. But yeah, it was a great experience. Nothing. The only bad thing I can say about it all was it was a little disorganized. But to be fair, this was only their second convention, and it was
that's to be expected. Yeah,
it was huge. It was even for their second convention, it was huge, and I didn't even get to go see the whole convention because of how busy we were. But I was seeing pictures, and there's a giant Titan Aaron, and I hadn't even seen something like that at a lot of the conventions I go to, and I was kind of sad because I wanted to go get a picture with him. But yeah, I don't know. It was for everything being so last minute, it was a great experience. And if it weren't for the travel, depending, I'd go back. But
Yeah.
with all the travel and how busy everything was, I may have to revisit my requirements. But I would definitely go back if I had the opportunity.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, I'm glad you had a fun time, and I'm glad it really opened your eyes to some of the stuff that you thought was the norm. But then again, like you had mentioned, like time is changing. Like
Yeah,
other countries like in that area are progressing.
absolutely. Yeah. Like one of the, I mean, you can always proceed on the side of caution. One of the kids, well, he's not really a kid. They're like teenagers. They were helping us at our booths all weekend. They're kind of like security. They were volunteers. And we were talking about everything, and I was like talking about the hijab and how I was wearing a hijab, and he's like, "You don't have to wear that." I was like, "Even if my hair is bright blue?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "People will stare, but he's like, you don't have to wear it." So
Right.
I did wear it. So a couple times in the hotel, I didn't wear it, just walking around the hotel. But definitely, like when I went to the airport and stuff, I just wanted to wear it because I didn't want to stick out.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah, it was a cool experience.
That's great. Yeah. I think that's a good place to end it. Yeah, just be aware of what you read on the internet. Like, don't really hop on to hate or cancel culture, even if it is like the hot thing to do right now. And I mean, hopefully, I mean, of course, like conventions, hopefully they don't stir up any controversy. But if they do, I hope they have at least like taken notice of like big blowouts, like what BlizzCon did, and just like take notes on how to handle controversies from now on, so that they don't like blow up in their faces.
Yeah, hopefully we can all learn from each other's mistakes.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I hope everyone enjoyed this episode. I hope it gave some more insight. Hopefully I was prepared enough for you guys. Thank you so much to Stephanie for joining me on this episode. Hope you had a lot of fun.
It's always fun. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so be sure to check out other episodes if you missed out. Um, Steph, if they want to find your work, where do they go?
I am everywhere. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, Reddit, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, everything. You can find me under Sutefaniiroozu. Sutefaniiroozu.
Okay. Yeah, definitely check out her Patreon. It's really fun. I gotta pledge back up when I reassess everything in December.
No worries.
Yeah, that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Cosplay Bites, the show that's all about conventions, cosplays, and all that fun stuff. Really sorry for the long wait in between episodes. Just a lot going on. Trying to get schedules to line up. But for this episode, I have my wonderful friend Stephanie, also known as Sutefaniiroozu. How you doing?
Good. Better now that I'm not sick. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. So, yeah, just a couple of things at the top. Cosplay Bites, for those who don't know, it's the podcast that's on Anchor, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and all your other favorite podcast listening platforms. I just want to get out of the way just a couple of things. If you didn't know, I'm basically taking this whole month off from writing blog posts just to try to get some personal things in order, and to also. Holy smokes, are you okay?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Just to also, I guess, apologize if, like, up to this point, people have felt that my show hasn't lived up to the standards that it could be. So I'm actively trying to make it better, and I'm actively trying to cover more important topics that need to be addressed in the cosplay world, which is definitely one thing that we're going to talk about today. Yeah. Also, shout out to my current patrons over on Patreon. Let me just pull this up here quickly.
I'm so embarrassed. I was trying to like clear out my throat, and I thought I turned my mic off, but it must be going through my not my headset. It must be going through my webcam.
Oh, okay. All right.
I was like, oh shoot, he heard that.
Yeah, I heard that giant cough. Shout out to my patrons over on Patreon. I have Coralia Jade, Kat Yuska Moonfox, Kendall, Mink the Satyr, Nicole Marie Jean, Noah, Oh My Sophie, and Shaylin. And with all of that out of the way, yeah, so some of you guys may remember Stephanie. I've had her on the show before. For this episode, we're going to talk about BlizzCon, which happened earlier this year. Not this year, this month. Oops. And then also touch on convention controversies, because BlizzCon certainly had a dumpster fire to control.
Yeah.
Leading up to the event. And then there's also a couple of other cons that come to mind in this year that had controversy and backlash. I think the only other one I can think of at the moment is Colossal Con.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Their cosplay department, and I guess them being racist towards black cosplayers and not like approving their panels and whatnot, if I'm remembering it right. So yeah, BlizzCon happened at the start of November. Stephanie went, and yeah, how was it?
Everything went pretty good. So this year, instead of doing 2 cosplays, I decided to do my one big build and actually enjoy the event for the second day, because I didn't get to do that last year. This is only my second BlizzCon, so on day 2, we ended up going in and playing Overwatch 2 and the World of Warcraft demo, and we got to play some games and go through the fair and all that. It was really nice to actually just go and experience it.
Yeah. Any standout games that you played there? So, like you said, you played Overwatch 2. You played the Shadowlands demo that they had. Excited for any of those, or like did the Diablo 4 announcement get you hyped? Or
I've never played Diablo, actually.
Okay.
I think that could definitely be a game that I'd like. So Overwatch 2 actually really surprised me. So I know almost everybody that follows me or watches my streams on Twitch knows that I have like really, really bad motion sickness. And I was so surprised that for a first-person shooter, I didn't get sick when we played the Overwatch 2 demo. Even though it wasn't a very long demo, I didn't feel even remotely sick after playing it. But after playing it's Shadowlands, right?
Yeah, that's the new expansion.
After playing that demo, I felt really sick. Not really sick, but my stomach was a little queasy for just being a demo. And usually, like, third-person games don't get to me like that. But, I mean, they were both really fun. I had fun playing them. Kate Sarkisian and I had kind of been talking about maybe playing World of Warcraft together because I'd been playing like a demo a couple years ago. Actually, it was one of the first games that I streamed on Twitch, but I never wanted to subscribe to World of Warcraft, so I never committed because it's kind of expensive, and
Yep.
to not have people in my like on my level of gaming because everybody I knew that played World of Warcraft was like so advanced and I didn't really have anyone to play with. But now that Kate's playing, I'm kind of excited. So I actually hopped on last night and finally made my subscription. But I was really sad that I got so sick last night. Like my head, it was like a really, really bad headache, and I got really nauseous and ended up getting off after getting to like level 4.
Oh, jeez.
And so Matt kind of helped me adjust my field of view because everybody is talking to me about adjusting my settings and stuff. I don't really know exactly what to do. So he almost has it set up now to where like it's very like you're looking down on the character, like almost like a League of Legends point of view, like perspective.
Okay, yeah, top down, yeah.
So I think when I play next time, I think that's really going to help me out a lot. So I'm excited. I want to like play a game again that I can get really into and play with a friend. Like I don't know, it's just been a while since I've gotten really hyped about a game.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm diving headfirst into Pokemon Sword. I mean, I cleared them. Yeah, yeah.
Who'd you choose for your starter?
Who did Sabo Squad all the way.
Nice.
Yeah, no, I beat the main story 2 days ago.
Nice.
So that is crazy. It's the most fun I've had. Just grinding for levels. Like it's so much fun because I mean they made it easier with you having like a permanent experience share so that everyone levels up regardless if they're in the fight or not in your party. So now I'm just catching a couple of things that I wanted to have for my overall team and leveling my guys up. Like they're all in the 60s and 70s. So
Nice.
yeah, and then like after that, I mean, the next game on my list is pretty much Final Fantasy VII's remake in March.
Oh yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah, unless I get desperate for something new, and then I'll probably get Luigi's Mansion 3. I don't know. But then like I've also been playing on my new Switch Lite that I picked up the week before Pokemon came out, and it's a good looking Switch.
That's cool. So that one's more of like handheld, right?
Yeah, it's $100 cheaper, and you're basically stuck in handheld mode permanently, and like you can't detach the Joy Cons. But I got the Pokemon edition that came out a week before the new game did, and yeah, I love it to death.
Nice.
Yeah. Let's see here. So, BlizzCon talked about the games. So, what about your outfit that you wore? So you cosplayed for one of the days, correct?
Yes. I think it was Friday, right? Because the con was Friday and Saturday, or was it Sunday too? I can't remember. But it was the first day of the event that I wore the cosplay, and it was really good. Like I think the only malfunction I had in my travels was the wings. I had airbrushed them very poorly because I'd never airbrushed before, but I specifically wanted to use an airbrush paint that was translucent because then it would allow the LEDs to shine through it. So that's why I ended up using an airbrush. But anyways, so my wings were like laying on top of each other, and there was a little patch of paint that stuck to the other wing. So when I pulled them apart, it came off. but I don't think it was very noticeable, especially when I put the lights on. My staff made it. The vape pen that Alex Price and Paige Sicole Art hooked me up with made it. I was a little nervous about that getting through, so I just kept it in my checked bag, and we put the battery in with the camera bag, and we didn't have any problems. Everything functioned and went really well. Only thing is that with the lights and the smoke, and it was very eye catching, so I kept getting stopped all the time for photos and stuff. But
Yeah.
it was hard because like if I needed anything, like Matt's a really good handler. He's always there to help, but because of how much help I needed and how busy we were, I was looking forward to actually getting like a handful of photos back, like because I don't sometimes when I wear a big costume like that, I won't get like good photos back, and I'll have to like try and shoot it another time or something. But
Yeah, exactly.
he helping me that he didn't have time to like really get a lot of good shots. Plus, it's hard to get good shots at BlizzCon because just so many people. There's so many people at the
Oh,
back,
yeah.
and so I'm gonna have to definitely shoot that another time. But
Right.
overall, everything went really well. I pushed myself pretty hard in that. My feet and my back hurt really bad from those wings.
Ouch.
By the time I was ready,
Yeah. Yeah, just a quick refresh. Yours was a mismatch. Like it was you combined WoW with Overwatch, or was it like
yeah, that was Zach Fisher's design. It was Dark Valkyrie Mercy. So if you
Yep.
want to see it visually, like his concept, you can go to his page, Zach Fisher Art, I believe,
Yep.
and you'll find the Dark Valkyrie Mercy, and then you can go to my page and see my take on it.
Yeah, it looked really good from the photos that I saw. You did a really incredible job on it. Like I'm always impressed with how much you push yourself, and with each big build, like you just seem to get better and better with each one. So
Well,
yeah,
thank you. That really means a lot.
you're welcome.
It's hard as a cosplayer to grow because, like, you do one cosplay and you're like, okay, well, how am I going to top that? How am I going to. But I think my next project that I think I need to do to kind of step out of where I've been is I've done a handful of armors, but I've never done anything very, like, bulky. Like, I feel like I want to do something with really big pauldrons and like a really like a meaty cosplay, if that makes sense.
No, yeah. I mean, when it comes to like meaty cosplays,
like a Reinhardt or something.
yeah, well, a couple of Blizzard games are pretty. They give you a wide variety because I know just a lot of World of Warcraft cosplays. Like some of the characters have crazy armor, like Varian and Anduin on the Alliance. They have crazy like lion head pauldrons that are just massive, and because I know Ashley Cosplay did a gender bend of Anduin Rin, like as a king, and that looked incredible. That was really bulky and shiny armor.
She's super talented.
Yeah, she is. I agree.
I even felt like Danielle Ballou, like her. What was she like? An orc. At Blizz.
Oh yeah. She was part of a Zach Fisher related group, I believe.
Yeah, I felt like her pauldrons were kind of beefy too.
Yeah.
I just think I want to try something a little bulkier like that eventually.
Yeah, that sounds like a good next step for you. I think you could do it.
Hopefully, we'll see.
Yeah.
It'll be something I haven't really done yet, playing with like big proportions and stuff.
Yeah. Um. So, do you see yourself going to like other BlizzCons in the near future? Because I know you said this was your second one, but did it still like have that kind of magic and awesome energy that you still want to experience down the line?
So for me, it's more a matter of like finances right now, because
Sure.
there's only so many conventions I can go to and afford financially. So I really do like BlizzCon. All the hype and all the cinematics and getting to go play, like they put on really good displays and all the cosplay is incredible. It's a great con, but it is hard for me, especially to get over to West Coast cons. So it'll be up in the air. We'll see. I'd like to go again, but I may not end up going next year. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I know for me, I had to skip out on KatsuCon this year, but I'd love to definitely try and go next year. It's just a matter of fun and getting the time off from work.
Right.
Unless I'm in a completely different place by then, I'm not sure. Um, yeah, because I mean, I'm pretty much restricted to the East Coast.
Yeah.
I'd love to go to a West Coast con someday. Like, even though I'm not that big of a Blizzard fan, but I mean, like, I'd love to experience BlizzCon at least once.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um. So the other part of BlizzCon, for those who don't know or weren't aware, Blizzard had this massive controversy explode on their faces like a couple of weeks before the con actually happened. Where, to sum it up, it was during a Hearthstone competition during the stream, and one of the players who actually won held up a free Hong Kong sign because it's a long story, but there's just a lot of bad stuff going on in Hong Kong right now. A lot of protests. So this player showed his support, and that got him banned from playing competitively for a year, as well as having his prize money taken away. And then I think the casters of that tournament also got banned. But then, yeah, but then later on, like they gave back his prize money, but then reduced his ban to 6 months rather than a year, and that did not go over well with everyone else.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of protests at the con, from what I understand. Um, I know the president of Blizzard issued a statement that people aren't sure if it was like half baked or not really an apology. So,
Right.
did you see any of that at the con?
Um, I did see a few. Yeah, I mean, I saw a few Winnie the Pooh costumes, and I did see like a group of people protesting with signs and stuff. I mean, as they should, as they have the right to. But what I don't really agree with in the community is they messed up. They messed up big time, and they deserved every bit of retaliation they received from it. But people had already spent money on BlizzCon tickets. They'd already been working very hard on their costumes, and they still love the games. It was one person's mess up. One higher up was like, we're gonna, ban him for a year. We're gonna take his prize money. It was one person that made a decision that was wrong. And for his decision, obviously there was, like I said, they deserved there should be some sort of retaliation for it. They need to know that they messed up and they need to right their wrongs. But for people to start attacking cosplayers or people that want to attend the event, that's not fair to all the creators of the games that had nothing to do with that decision.
Right,
Who had
exactly.
been working very hard. They worked hard on all these games, and everybody worked hard on their costumes, and everybody still likes the games. So
Yeah.
what I have to say about that is I don't agree with it. And I think it's good that they tried to right their wrong. Did they right their wrong? That's open for discussion. But
Yeah.
I think that, hopefully they learn their lesson for the future and don't bash cosplayers for stuff like that, and people that enjoy the games, because it's not fair to all the people from the company that worked really hard on it and for one person's big mess up.
Yeah, because even there were people internally at Blizzard that were protesting, like shortly after this whole debacle started. Like they don't agree with what upper management said, but like, yeah, like definitely don't go attacking like the developers or like sending them death threats. That's
right.
That's not how to go about this. No.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of controversy, but hopefully things will simmer down and they'll, not do something like that in the future.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on like how conventions should handle like controversies or backlash for like stuff that they did out of line that weren't really stuff that they should do? Because like the other thing that I mentioned like at the top of the show was Colossal Con. I don't know if it was their main event or like Colossal Con East, but they turned down several. I'm probably remembering this wrong, but they turned down several panels that were focused around people of color and like black cosplayers.
Right.
And that just didn't sit well. Like their reasoning for turning down the panels was kind of bullshit.
Yeah. Because I don't know the full story of that. Like, I have some questions about that, because if it was just one panel, is there, I'm not siding with anyone, but is there a possibility that maybe they just didn't, there might have been other panels that would have gone over better, and that was the reason that it was declined and it just kind of was viewed wrongly? Or if it was multiple panels around the same theme that were not accepted, that makes more sense to me. If there was multiple, I don't know the whole story, but
right. I probably got this wrong too, because I'm just looking it up right now.
Something like that would actually be really good in the community, personally, I think, because there is a lot of question around Black people cosplaying when majority of characters are white, and like, how to fit in. I think it would have been a great panel personally, but yeah, I don't know who made that decision, and if it was actually a racist decision, or if he just didn't know if it would be a good panel, and then everybody got upset about it being declined. I don't know the situation, but either way, I think what they did was a good decision. I think they changed management or something.
Yeah, no, that's what it was. I'm looking at it right now. Racist comments and like disgusting comments were made by someone that was the head of the cosplay department at Colossal Con.
Okay, then that's not okay.
Yeah.
I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. I'm not the type of person where I hear about something, I'm like, oh yeah, screw them. Like, I'm not just gonna go with, and neither should you, not until you have heard all the information and have been able to make your own decision. Like, I feel like a lot of people, no, I'm not I just think it's easy to be swayed a particular way when most people are against something. So like whenever there's controversy in the community, please like do your research and like have your own opinions, because there's a lot of like witch hunting and stuff that goes on in the community, even though Colossal Con was in the wrong. Just
Yeah.
for controversy in general, you know? Don't side with something just because it seems like you should.
Yeah, because like cancel culture is very prevalent in today's society. So, I mean, people just have to be careful about like not jumping on the bandwagon of like hating on someone just because it's
right. Like people individually, like cosplayers, like somebody makes one oopsie, and you know their cosplay career is over. I mean,
right.
not really career, but you know what I mean.
Right.
Unless they are doing it as a career, I don't know. But like